Right guys, Billy here again from the Wood Junki Tool Labs, and today I've got another decent tool I want to show you, and I'm going to do a couple of little demonstrations, not massive demonstrations, but just to give you the flavour and the idea of what I'm actually doing. So these are Japanese saws. Now I've had the first set of them for about 14 months, say, and the first set to me come to me free of charge to sort of review them and demonstrate them over on my main channel. All them obligations are finished. They are really good saws, and I bought, either that good, I bought some more myself out of my own money. So that's me being totally transparent and honest, and I'm just going to run you through the saws just to give you a brief idea, brief rundown if you're thinking of Japanese saws. So this is my set of Japanese saws here. Them first four there were the ones that were sent to me, and them second two there, they're the ones I've recently purchased. So I'll just run you through what they are. This is the small flush trim saw by Temple Tools. It is a really good bit of kit, and I will demonstrate it. That is the large Ryoba. Now they do one that's slightly smaller than that, and these are really good for all round joinery, and you can even do delicate jobs with that one there. It's so versatile, that saw. I mean, I am going to buy another one, and it's going to be the smaller version of that saw. Then you've got the rip cut dozuki. As you can see, my saws are well used. I do give them a good battering. I use them all the time. Like you can see where the sort of writings come off and stuff like that. So yeah, that one there's the rip cut dozuki. That's the crosscut dozuki. Now with these two, although one's a crosscut, one's a rip cut, it doesn't sort of matter. You know, the same with the Ryoba. One side's fine, one side's a bit coarse. One's for rip, one's for crosscut. But it depends on the type of wood you're using. You might use the fine cut on a rip. You know, it's just the density of the wood. You'll get the feel of your own saw as you use them. This one here is the combination saw, rip and crosscut, and it's called the Little Demon. This is a recent purchase. I bought out my own money, this one. And then this is one, I tested it at a tool fair in Ali Pali in London a while back. I was invited down by Temple Tools, and I tested that one on behalf of Tyzac Tools, which is in London, a person who sells tools. And I tried that, and I was so impressed with it. And all these saws at the demonstration sold out, but I went and purchased my own of them too. So right, let's get into it and let's get some brief demonstrations done. So first start, I'm going to use the Ryoba. Now I'm ripping this bit of 4x2 pine, but I'm going to start with a rip, and I may change over to the finer tooth blade depending on how it feels going through the saw. So just let's get a cut going. And these are pull saws. And as you can see there, that was brilliant. And what you're doing with these, if you had a push saw, you're pushing. With these, you're pulling, so you're actually pulling the tension out the saw. It's a thinner blade, and it's high quality Japanese steel on all of these. You can go and look at the history of them, and the company behind Temple Tools, if you want to look at that, it's really interesting. It's a guy in America and his friend who's a Japanese chap, and they went and they've set this company up, and they're bringing really good effective saws to sort of the Western market at affordable prices. So they really are worth a sort of look. And as you can see, they just go through like a hot knife through butter, and you can see the sort of cut it sort of produces. They are good, they're good saws. Now you could just clean it up, you know. And these, the ones I've had for like 14 months, I've not had to change the blade at all on them. Now, you don't really sharpen these blades. What you do is you just replace them. You can buy replacements of the blades, which are inexpensive anyway. But like I say, anybody who watches my channel knows I use these quite a lot, and I've not had to change them. Now this one gets absolutely battered, and that's just went straight through that, no problem. So now I'm going to use the rip cut dozuki on this side. So I've used the rip cut, got that one down. Now this is the crosscut dozuki. Now you can flip in between these saws depending on the sort of density of the wood, that kind of thing. This is the cross cutting one. How quick was that? Absolutely amazing bits of kit, these. So as you can see, they're nice and clean cuts. They're just really good saws. This is the combination saw, the little demon they call it. So a combination of a rip and a cross cut. Real nice saw to use, and I got that quite spot on. Oh, for a demonstration weren't too bad. So yeah, that's the little demon combination cross cut and rip cut. This is the flush trim saw, and it's really good for getting into sort of awkward tight spaces. Now again, it's got like a, you know, two sides to it for hardwood and for softwood, but again, it doesn't matter. It's all about what feels right when you're cutting. So simple operation, put your finger there, always try and cut away from you, but just look at that, as how easy that is. And it goes through hardwood just as easy as it goes through this pine. If not, I think they work better on hardwood. That one pinged off. But there you go. And it's as easy as that. That is one of the most popular saws out at the moment, and it's like a really versatile and good saw to sort of have in your toolkit. Right, so this is the one I tested at the tool fair a while back, and this is bought with me home. Now this is the ultra fine dozuki, so it's for finer work. You know, like dovetails, you're making boxes, dovetail work of any sort of kind of thing. It's sort of that kind of saw. Again, nice compact design. And I'm just going to sort of give you the brief demonstration. This is not going to be perfect, but if you're sort of doing sort of dovetails of any description, these are well out, so don't worry about that. It's just, if I was making dovetails, it'd have all been marked out. Now just imagine if you've marked this out and you've got how quick this is. And I hope you can hear how that's cutting. It's cutting really nice as well. Nice and easy saw. Now I'll just show you something we were doing down at the fair, just to a bit of practice with this, and it come sort of like a thing. We had everybody up trying to get the thinnest slice. I'll show you. So one of the things we were trying with this ultra fine saw was who can get the thinnest, and it was a guy called Pro Mac Carpentry who's on Instagram, nice guy, who sort of got the thinnest. And me being sort of a novice woodworker, but this is really good practice for really fine cuts. Let's see what I can do. Oh no, see, you've got to really have your wits about you. Well, if you can see there how fine you can get in, a bit more practice and stuff like that, you know, it makes the job, you know, it's a nice bit of kit. So this would replace your sort of traditional sort of woodworking saws, wouldn't it? Now, I wouldn't say go out and replace all your traditional woodworking saws, because there's nothing wrong with Western style saws. Since I've been doing woodworking, I've sort of gone to these because I got these first, so to speak, and I just love them. And everybody that sort of tends to use them, the Japanese saws, tends to love the Japanese saws. So it's up to you, you know, if you can get to a tool fair, you see them, have a play with them, that kind of thing. You know, I'm not here doing the hard sell on you or anything like that. I'm just showing you what's out there. So the easy way to sort of care for them is, once you've used them, just give a blow off, a wipe off. Now if you're using sort of wood like pine, it can be very sappy, so you know, you really want to sort of give them a clean. Now you can get this stuff that protects them. It's called razor saw. Now I don't know what that writing says, it's all in Japanese, I haven't got a clue. There's some sort of diagram at the back there, but all I do with them is just, that's it, and then just sort of like go over them, coming down like that. I'll show you. And that sort of gives them some protection, and I do that on them all every time I use them, and that's probably sort of why they're lasting so long as well, if I'm honest. You can get the most out of your tools, don't you, really? And that's sort of getting all that sort of bits from the teeth as well. And that's it, that's all there is to it, to sort of giving them just a nice wipe over. There's enough residue on that, which is going on all the blades now anyway, so. And I'll store them away inside. You don't want to leave them out, obviously, in the wet. Right guys, so I hope you like that little bit of a demonstration on the Japanese saws and why you might want to get them. I'm not trying to say go out and buy Japanese saws or whatever, but with these Temple Tools, I got 4 of them quite a while back that were sent to me by Temple Tools to try out, and I was under no obligation, and I fulfilled all them obligations anyway, but there was no obligation to say anything nice. They are actually genuinely good saws. There's other saws out on the market available, but that's down to you to sort of research them, because I haven't got some. That's not quite true. I did buy a set. I bought a set of from Rutland's before I even had the Temple Tools ones, and they were garbage. I didn't, you know, they just, the steel was all, I'll do a video on them. I've still got them. I'll do a video on them just to show you what I mean, so you know I'm not sort of pulling anybody's leg. So what sort, if I was to go out and buy one of these saws, which one would I start with? I would start with a flush trim saw, the smallest one. I would start with that one. It's a really good versatile saw for getting in and out of awkward spots, all that kind of stuff. And that is over 14-month-old, and I use it all the time. And if there was a second saw, I'd definitely get the Ryoba, because that is a sort of do-it-all type saw. It does everything you want it to do, and it can do really delicate tasks as well. It's a fantastic bit of kit, that, and they do a smaller one as well. Now in the description below there is a bit of a discount code on Temple Tools if you want to go and have a look at the saws and how much they are. I know people are tight for money at the minute, but if you're wanting good tools, stuff like that, you know, you can pay a lot more for Japanese saws off different brands. I've done a little bit of research, but these Temple Tools ones are the dog's bollocks, trust me, they're really, really good. So guys, and what I say, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, because all those small creators are having a hard time, they're pushing out all the big boys because they're getting big revenues. At least with the smaller creators, you're not going to get no crap. Like on this tool channel, you're never going to get a fake tool review. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm not going to pull your leg, so I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe, help the channel out. This is a new channel. I'll put links below to my main woodworking channel. I did do a few reviews over there, but it got a bit congested, so hence why I've set this channel up. And also other small creators, if you're into sort of cooking, if you're into jet skiing, doing up camper vans, and you see the small creators on YouTube, go and subscribe to them and hit the notification bell, so you're getting authentic content, which you come to YouTube for anyway. Let's not just have a certain handful getting all the viewing when there's loads of us out there. So guys, hope you like that, and on to the next one.